What is up, guys, and welcome to a Raw review for the 1st of May edition of Monday Night Raw. I'm very, very ill. Well, I've got a cold, and I just feel like shit. So apologies that this is going to be shit. It will be relatively quick. I just recorded 2 minutes, and I just fucked the whole thing up, so I had to start again. But we started the show. Let's get straight into it. Let's kick right off into it with the Raw Women's Championship kind of celebration ceremony. I think Alexa Bliss called it a coronation. She's called herself the goddess of Monday Night Raw. And she came out. Everybody else is in the ring, all the women, to the other 7. And Alexa Bliss basically threw shots at everybody bar Nia Jax, basically. Nia Jax was the one she respected. Nia Jax was the one she wasn't going to do anything because she was ultimately very, very scared of what would happen if she went after Nia Jax. But she said stuff about Mickie James at first, her former best friend. She then went on to Sasha Banks. She then went on to Bayley before Bayley attacked her after she disrespected her family. And we got an 8-man tag match. Alexa Bliss improved so well in every single asset of her game, of her character. I mean, everything's improved. Her character, her mic work, her ring work, everything's improved. She's one of the most improved female athletes I think we've seen in a long, long time, and she just keeps on getting better. Very much deserves to be the Raw Women's Championship. The shot she threw at Mickie James, Bayley, and Sasha Banks respectively, all were really, really well done, to the point, believable. She's fantastic on the mic, and this is a great way to kick off the show. We then got an 8-man tag match, very decent 8-man tag match. I enjoyed it. In the end, the heels getting the win, so Alicia Fox, Emma, Nia Jax, and Alexa Bliss getting the victory, with Alexa Bliss actually raking the eyes of Bayley and then delivering her finisher and getting the victory, which basically meant that, I suppose you could say their feud will continue. What some would say, she got another pinfall over her, so for now, it's going to move to the back. I doubt it. We get a rematch between Bayley and Alexa Bliss. And the sort of stuff that was going outside on the ring between Alicia Fox and Sasha Banks, we might be getting a feud between those two, which I think will be a very interesting feud. I mean, Alicia Fox, I think, has been underutilised in the division. She's a bit of a crazy character, but I think she could be used a hell of a lot better. And I think a feud with Banks, that, I mean, yes, ultimately we'll have Banks winning, but a feud with her nonetheless is not going to be a bad thing at all. And Banks, Fox will be decent, and of course Bayley versus Alexa Bliss is going to be awesome moving forward. We then get Enzo Amore versus Luke Gallows. I'm past it with Enzo and Cass. I despise everything about them. Their entrance pisses me off. Amore is terrible in the ring. I don't find him funny. Why on earth Gallows had to, cheat to win against Amore is beyond me. I mean, I can't even begin to tell you how infuriating that makes me. The club, Gallows and Anderson, whatever we're calling it at this point, they're never going to be booked the way they should do, so I'm always lost all hope with them. Enzo Amore and Big Cass, I've had enough of them. They're boring. They're crap. Amore is even worse. I mean, I don't want to talk about this. This is, who thought having Enzo Amore have to be cheated out of a victory is a good idea? Needs sacking immediately. This is embarrassing. We then got Seth Rollins coming out talking about beating Samoa Joe and what's next. He said he wanted Brock Lesnar and the Universal Championship. The crowd went pretty nuts. Let's be honest. Finn Balor then came out and said, actually, if anybody deserves Brock Lesnar, it's me. In fact, I don't just deserve it, I owed it. He is owed his rematch because he never lost the title and was guaranteed a shot at the title when he came back. Ambrose then came out next, said Lesnar, he's not a fighting champion. He isn't here. I'm here every week. I am a fighting champion. I haven't got anybody to fight. So, yeah, if either of you want a match, basically, I'm here. Then The Miz came out and said, actually, Ambrose, you're kind of not as much a fighting champion as you claim you are, because where were you defending the title at Payback? So, again, they were throwing shots at each other. I mean, this was brilliant. I mean, Miz on the mic, superb. One of the best mic, one of the best promo workers in the business, hands down. I mean, Bleacher Report's moaning here that it made the Intercontinental Championship look second rate. That's an exact quote. I mean, I can see that opinion. I can understand that. It kind of did, I suppose, make it look like this was second. Yeah, that you can't get the Universal title because Lesnar's not here, so you'll have to settle for the IC title. But you could also look at it another way and say it made the IC title look even better because, as Ambrose said, this is the main title on Raw now. So, I mean, I can see it from both ends. I mean, I thought it was a really, really good segment. I thought it worked well. I thought Miz, again, looked fantastic. I think Miz standing in the ring with Seth Rollins and Finn Balor, and what we saw later on in the night, well and truly is a main eventer. I struggle to understand why people wouldn't think he is more than capable of hanging in the main event. Whether he will on Monday Night Raw, I'm not so sure, but we'll have to wait and see. A Miz versus Lesnar match, you know, maybe if you'd have asked me a year ago, doesn't sound that appealing. Now, very much appealing. Balor, Miz, very, very much appealing. I enjoyed this. Ambrose then said, I'm starting to like Ambrose. I feel like his character, since he's come to Raw, is developed a little bit. He's still kind of got that comedic element to him, but he's a lot more sort of serious, a lot more, you know, I don't know. There's certainly a difference in his character, not drastically, but a subtle change, which I'm liking. It's not to say I'm a massive Ambrose fan, I never have been, probably won't ever be, but I don't mind it at all. And Ambrose basically rang Kurt Angle and said, yeah, they basically put the match. So it's a triple threat. The winner facing Ambrose for the IC title at the end. The match, triple threat would be at the end of the night, facing Ambrose, God knows when. We then got a Cruiserweight six-man tag team match, which I didn't watch. I skipped the Cruiserweights at this point because I don't care about them. But I do know Gallagher and whoever the fuck he was teaming with won, because I can remember, well, it's actually written, I am now officially on Bleacher Report, to know where I'm going, because I fucked up at the start, because I didn't actually know what the fuck things were called. Anyway, Gallagher, Tozawa and Rich Swann beating Brian Kendrick, Tony Nese and Noam Dar. They said it was a fine enough match. I'm sure it was lovely. But they've got Sheamus and Cesaro cutting a promo as heels. Cesaro usually sort of mumbles and that in his promos because he speaks so many bloody languages. It must be tough for him. I mean, I'd love to be able to speak another language. I'm just so shit at learning them, so I couldn't. But he didn't stumble at all here. I stand by my point. Sheamus is, without shadow of a doubt, a better heel. And I think Cesaro's a better heel. I've been wanting him to be heel for a long friggin' time. And although he works as a face, the problem with him as a face is, in the ring, is about as much as he's very charismatic, but outside the ring, he can't really sort of speak on the mic particularly successfully, whereas as a heel, he can speak on the mic like that pretty perfectly. So he seemed a lot more natural, a lot more sort of, a lot more, he seemed to find it a lot easier. That might have been because he was with Sheamus, I don't know, but I enjoyed this promo. Bleacher Report giving it a C-. I mean, I disagree with Bleacher Report a fucking lot. They said that it was just, too easy for WWE Creative to go for the fans made us do it. I don't necessarily think that was just their point. I think it was more, the fans. Sheamus basically said, I've never liked the fans. Cesaro said, I think, if we've got the fans behind our back, we can do it a hell of a lot better. I think this is more about not just that, but the fact that at WrestleMania, they were going in as the fan favourites, and then out came the Hardy Boys, stole the spotlight, stole the match, stole what they thought was going to be their title, stole their WrestleMania moment, and they're aggrieved, and they're ultimately pissed off about that. So I don't think it was necessarily just about the fans made us do it. So again, I disagree with Bleacher Report, and I think this feud really, really already, just with this one segment, this one promo from Sheamus and Cesaro, love the jackets they were wearing too, really has made them a massive tag team, fantastic heel team, solidified them as heels. The Hardy Boys already feel more important, and the Hardy Boys versus Sheamus and Cesaro, because they'll ultimately win the tag team turmoil match next week, spoiler alert, it's going to be very, very good, and I'm very, very much into this feud a hell of a lot more than what I was heading into Paybacks, and that is a good thing. I look forward to the next match between these two. And then got Apollo Crews versus Heath Slater, another guy who needs to turn heel and pronto. Apollo Crews, he did beat Heath Slater with Titus O'Neil at ringside. Whether they'll become a tag team, I don't know. I wouldn't mind it, but I mean, simply put, Apollo Crews needs to become a heel. Otherwise, he will just never get out of first gear, which is what he's currently in. So, not too much to talk about from that segment, but yeah, decent nonetheless. Well, I say it wasn't decent at all, was it? The match was average at best, and yeah, the Apollo Crews is just kind of floating around in obscurity, really. We then got Bray Wyatt. Basically, Kurt Angle essentially came out, spoke about Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman, that they're both injured. It's to note Roman Reigns more severely. I'm no medical doctor, but I assume from what Kurt Angle said, and from my assumptions and my knowledge, Roman Reigns will be out longer than Braun Strowman. That's at least what I think. He then said, they're not finished with each other, blah, 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 we're going to try and sort of substitute. But basically, he did what a lot of politicians do, say a lot without saying anything, really. And then we moved on to Randy friggin' Orton. What am I talking about, Randy Orton? It's because I'm kind of like trying to follow Ripley. I'm having a terrible. Basically, Wyatt came out and said, I'm finished with Randy Orton. I'm here on Raw. This is my world. This is my show. Angle said, this is my show. Wyatt said, it's my world. Basically, Wyatt introduced to Kurt Angle type thing. Shook hands. I enjoyed this moment. I enjoyed it. It certainly showed me that Wyatt's going to be taken seriously on Raw. Now, whether he will do, we'll have to wait and see. I know a lot of people kind of just don't even know what to think about Wyatt anymore because of how bad he's been booked. Again, another cruiserweight match, Austin Aries versus TJ Perkins. Look, I mean, from what I fast-forwarded, it's a great match. Austin Aries getting the win. TJ Perkins, I believe, attacked him after, so that's lovely. We then got the main event, Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins versus The Miz. Very, very enjoyable triple threat main event. Some really, really good spots in this match. And, a very, very good ending. Now, some will go, it's a cheap ending. I loved it. Bollocks. Please report a copy in my opinion. But they did. I do agree with them. This is what I was about to say, and then I've just fucking read it. But, essentially, all three programs were set up in one match, and that is absolutely perfect. Booking and everything else. Balor and Wyatt. What a feud that's going to be. Miz Ambrose. Some people thought that was on the back burner. I will admit, so did I. But it looks like that might not be the case. And Rollins Joe is continuing too. Balor, Wyatt, oh my god, that's really, really exciting. Miz, Ambrose, very much exciting. Rollins Joe, very much exciting too. So this is very, very good for Raw. Now, if these are the kind of three mid-card feuds, we've then got Alexa Bliss versus Bayley, and maybe Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar. Raw is in very, very good shape. The match was good. Miz getting the victory. Enjoyed it very much. Miz, without shadow of a doubt, belongs in the main event. Very much held his own in this match. Balor and Seth Rollins got wicked in-ring chemistry, although they do, every time they get in the ring, look like they're about to kill each other. But other than that, very, very good match. And a great way to end what was a decent episode of Raw. There was filler, there was some crap, but it overall was a decent show and followed Payback okay. Not wildly entertaining, but no newsworthy things did come from Monday Night Raw. We now turn our attentions to SmackDown Live as the road to Backlash gets ever closer. Kevin Owens, what does his loss of the title mean for him and his status on SmackDown? Could he even win it back live tonight on SmackDown Live against Chris Jericho? Y2J is on Raw. Y2J is Raw. Sorry? Y2J is on SmackDown is what I meant to say. Completely fucked that up. And what does him, as the United States Championship, mean for AJ Styles, who's the number one contender? What will Randy Orton's reaction and response be to Jinder Mahal, who cost him a match at Payback last night? The tag team division is, we have new contenders in Breezango. Will they be facing the Usos? Who is the champions on SmackDown? The Usos for the tag team championships, and Charlotte and Naomi. Obviously, their match last week in the main event ended in absolute chaos in a disqualification after they were attacked by the other women in that division. The division is in carnage. Maybe we'll get some answers from Shane O'Mac or Daniel Bryan tonight on what they're going to do with the women's division. SmackDown should be a great show. I'll be back similar sort of time tomorrow with a review. Thanks for watching. Apologies, it's been a shit one, but I thought I'd get it out, even though I'm feeling like shit. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all, hopefully, next time. Goodbye.